Hello everyone and welcome to tonight's live stream. Tonight we are taking it on and going into Project Mimic. Project Mimic is a new game I started making during our live stream on Monday. This weekend I was going to do Retro Remake, but seeing as it's Halloween on Monday, it makes more sense to do something horror based. So I thought let's carry on working on Mimic and specifically working on the AI side of things. Let's turn down this. There we go, that's nice. Yeah, so we're going to look at creating some of the AI stuff, I think, for this one today. I want to try and do stuff with like the Android type enemies. So that's what we're going to be trying to do in our project. Start off. So it's a time for us to just hang out. I'm going to explain everything I'm doing, explain my processes. As I said, we're going to go through creation of this whole entire game project live, so you get to see the whole process of me talking things through, explaining the reasons why I'm doing certain things, and also talking about game design in abundance as well. So I'm just going to go straight ahead into the live scene over here. And yeah, so here we are in our project. We started on Monday. In fact, let's go to our dev map over here. This is what we started doing stuff on the other day. We started working on like different like tasks and things like that the players would be. So a quick elevator pitch about the whole entire game. If you think about Resident Evil mixed with Among Us, mixed with Alien Isolation, it's basically that. Okay, so the multiplayer survival horror game with social elements to encourage people to betray each other and get it on top of the well, scoreboard basically. So, part of the aspect of the game is there's these androids that walk about the environment, this spaceship. And the androids are ever present, walking around, and will hurt you and try and kill you. Now, the idea of the game is that you can actually, at certain intervals, at least it will be certain intervals, I think, you'll be able to direct where these androids go and who they will attack, so you can pin them onto a certain particular person if you really want to get your revenge on someone. So it's something that we'll play about with, especially in terms of like how much damage they do and things like that, and what abilities they can do. We'll see, but part of that will also be the design of the map. One thing I debated about whether or not is, can the androids go through vents? You'll be able to, but will they be able to? I'm not too sure on. But to give you an idea of what the androids I want to be like, I want to be a mix between like the default mannequin, and also the Metroid Dread robots. I thought they were really clever enemies, and I thought they'd be quite cool for a scenario like this. So hi Madcat Games. So what we're going to do here is we're going to just up the... Actually, I'm not up it. I'm just going to go change unlit here. And I'm just going to do a basic layout of a level here. So I'm going to delete all the stuff we built last time. Because what I want to do is just get a clean environment for our Android character to be able to walk around in. Yeah, there you go. So we can test out their navigation skills, what they can and can't see, and so forth. So let's build out a few things here. We're going to go to our level prototyping tools. I'm going to turn on snaps here. 101. Yeah, so as I said, when you're building out your AI, you want to make sure that you build a test environment which is mimicking sort of like the kind of things they may want to do in the actual level. So not only are we going to have like corridor spaces like this, which are pretty simple, we've got things like these little hideaway bits we want to put in there, make sure that you can actually hide from enemies, because you don't want just straight corridors. If you have straight corridors, there's no gameplay in that. It's a lot of just safe running. So you want to make sure you put these little nooks and crannies in, especially in a horror game where you don't know what's around any corner. You want to obstruct the player's view often. So that's what we'll be looking at doing today, is practicing and experimenting with these. So let's make some shapes here. So I'm thinking of like a little alcove type. It could be like a closed doorway or anything like that, but that's to do with artwork. We'll do with artwork another day. Right now, we're going to get the shape in. And it's important when you're doing level design is to be aware of what is the setting of your game, but don't let that restrict you. Obviously, gameplay comes first. Might need that bit bigger. So design the shapes or as you need them, and then you can worry about trying to make the artwork fit later. How's that for space? I kind of want to put like a column or something here. Boxes, I don't know. So I want to kind of a gap of 3. 1, 3, 1, 3. Yeah, there you go. So something like that. The player can like hide away around here, for example, from enemies and away from them. Things of that nature. Yeah. Okay. Alright, to point later. Okay, so next bit I want to go into is make a demonstrate a room, like a larger room. Imagine that we go into space over here. This. I also want to mess about with verticality as well, because I want the robots to be able to like, for you to see robots above you in like a different level. Taking advantage of what we call Swiss cheese level design. You can see other parts of the level from where you're at, like holes in a Swiss cheese. Approach that we want to do. Larger room, even larger. Yeah, and I want to put like platforms and stuff, so I want to see if they can walk along platform. That's fine. Now I want to try and stick to a uniform size for like smallest width corridors or platform. I think 4 may be good. That's 4 meters. Well, enough space where you can run around something, but not enough where it's like run circles completely. Like that. Yeah. Okay, so I've got to think of a way for them to get up here and down here. Do. we'll standardize door shapes in a minute. Right now. Yeah, possible. Okay, so I need to find a way for them to come up and down here. I mean, it's not the final level design, obviously, so big deal. Here we do this. Okay, so pushing that one there. This one will push up here. What is the best way to make a practice map? Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, this is a good way of doing it. Especially with this level prototyping stuff they've given you. It all snaps nicely to grids, and it's a good idea to do that. And so with dev maps, you kind of just want to build out the shapes that you know you're going to need. Good time to test like heights of objects, gaps and doorways and corridors. Make sure they feel right. The last thing you want to do is build your levels artwork and then realize, oh, it's too narrow. I need to make it a bit bigger. Well, that changes all of your art. Pain in the butt. So it's best idea to do that. Have you got a character model? Yeah. So I'm sticking to 3 meters for like normal corridors. These ones I was thinking in my head. Sorry, these would be like more industrial room, like engine rooms, something like that. So it's gonna be typically like taller ceilings. I wanted the player to feel like a big room in here, like as an example. But the main corridors, yeah, they'll be like 3 high. Then we'll start doing some AI things. Tip for horror games as well is whenever you're doing doorways, add corners to the doorway to the left, even if they're like blocked off like this. Always make sure there's a corner. Corners are scary. If you don't know what's there, it's scary. So use that as your strength when you're making your horror levels. Corners are scary. I need to put more alcoves and things like that in here, but right now I just want to get the basic shape in. Okay, so alcove. Right, let's put a vent in. Let's test vents and stuff. So let's make a vent go from here to here-ish. Sure. Let's test that out. Okay, so for this I need to shorten this wall here. 2. Vents are going to be 2. And it could be short enough for us to walk under with a crouch. So I should be able to walk underneath that. but we want to be able to like crouch through it. How do you scale on one side only? What do you mean, like this? You mean? What do you mean? Grab the little handles here. These are being scaled. The material they give you for the level prototyping is you making use of the actor scale, so it changes the UV for it live. Yeah, don't grab the bit in between. So whoever's highlighted, so here we see the Y and the Z are highlighted. If I grab that, it's going to extrude out in both directions. You want to pick just one. So hit the little cubes, put the lines in between the. Right, yeah. Let's make the color of this. Yeah. So I'm just going to block it out first, and then I'll sort out like scale of it and stuff. So my event's actually going to have multiple exits. See? Even to that size width 2. I mean, 2 might be too much. I might want to do it down to 1. But we'll see how 2 fares. That's the point of all this dev map stuff, is you want to make sure you don't make mistakes with artwork. It takes a long time to fix it. So this is nice and quick. Like that. Yep. Select all these bits now. Oh, I ain't done that. Right. First of all, let's see that if I have to crouch for this. No, I can walk right under. That's good. Right, so it's half that. Is that going to be too little? That's going to be too. Let's make my character crouch. Let's see. So to crouch, we're going to go to our player character. And I'm going to go to its character movement. And we're going to enable crouch. Crouch. Project settings. Inputs. And we're going to add crouch. Oh, is that what you mean? Yeah, sorry, Magnus has explained it what I mean better. Yeah, horror game. Okay. Crouch in here. Crouch. Uncrouch. Third person crouch, cool. No, it's gonna stay in first person the whole time. Why don't you just use extractive option and the box properties? If I'm using geometry nodes, I'm not using geometry though. I'm just using not BSPs. I'm using just meshes. No different either way. Subtractive stuff can have a problem depending on which way you add it. So be aware of that. I did actually set a key, did I? Subtracted. Yeah, there you go. Shift. Okay. Right. Make it underneath this. No. So it's got to be like halfway between that. So that's annoying. Okay, so let's change that down to 50. Oh. See if that fits me. Yeah. Okay, so 150. It's got to be the height of that gap. Vent. Okay. Right, so with that in mind, I need to make holes a bit lower. Doesn't matter if it being rough. Fine. Okay, let's put the roof on it. That makes it easier for myself. There you go. Right, let's see what that looks like going through that vent. Oh, made that one too low. Made that one too low. Or have I made the whole roof too low? Oh, I've made. Oh wait, I've made this too high. There you go. That should be good and scary. Yeah, it's probably we could have done that. It's not an issue though. As I say, just want to test, know what sizes we need these to be. Okay, so let's add ceiling now to this corridor. And then I'll show you a good little tip by the way as well for doing ceilings. First. Yeah, so a little tip for this, by the way, is if you select the roofs, like this, and go to your layers, add them to an extra layer. So when you want to edit the inside of it, you just turn off the layers, and you can then do the insides of it. A bit easier when making your game. Okay, so obviously there will be some lights inside the actual level as well. It won't be just torchlight. There'll be stuff going on as well. Right, we should be able to go up these stairs here. Yep. Okay, cool. So how do I get the checker material? This is a material that's given to you in a level prototype folder in Unreal 5. These things. These blockouts come with the template that you get from Unreal 5. it should tell. If you click the little notification bell, I think it does tell you. Okay, so we've got this thing going on up here. Let's make him another way of him getting up this slope here. I'm gonna get his stairs here. Across. Then our AI should be able to climb this up here. To get to the platform. Ooh. Like that. There you go. Right, let's add some ambient lights in here. Not ambient lights, some general lights we have on in here. So one thing to note in here is we've got this directional light in here. So I've got a directional light that's sort of adding ambient light to the whole entire scene out here. I'm just going to turn off car shadows, and now it's going to light up the inside of my scene as well. This sort of dull light makes things a bit easier to test out. Yeah, you just look at the material, open up the material in Unreal 5, and you can see how they're made. Pretty simple. Okay, so let's do our AI character. So we need to make a new folder for him. AI. We'll have the androids. We'll have a character class, android. NPC. Gonna have the controller class. Android AI. I have an behavior tree. Although they're gonna have quite simple behavior, really. I think at least. Behavior. Backboard. Backboard. Pardon me. Okay, right. So you need to go into our Android NPC. Take him a mesh. I'm going to bring a slightly different mesh than the mannequin. Actually. Just because. We've got something to look at. Bear with me. I'll actually show you this because not people will understand this bit. Right, so I'm going to add this to my project, okay? I'll add my prototype characters here to the project. I go to add project and oh no, it's not compatible. If you just click show all projects, find your project in here. Project Mimic. And I can choose, oh no, it's not compatible with Unreal Engine 5. Just change it down to a lower one, 422. Add to project and it'll work. Done. Now that will only really work for things that are art-based or music-based. Anything that's like plugin related, we'll have issues with that. But if it's an asset like artwork or anything like that, you can just bring it into a project just fine. So that shouldn't cause us any issues bringing that in. There they are. Where are we? Prototype. We've got a female prototype and a male prototype. Okay. Cool. Okay, so we're gonna make this thing use the animations. So this uses the UE4 skeleton. Now, if you've got a mesh that is using a skeleton, which is basically a UE4 skeleton, exactly in name and hierarchy and everything like that, you can easily make it follow animations. So, for example, the animations that come in here are UE5 animation, mannequin UE5 mannequin animations. So, if I just go somewhere in here, where are we going? Oh, we're in first person. We don't have animations in here. Ah, nuts. 1 sec. I'm gonna go grab them. Let me just open up any old Unreal 5 project. Hold on. Let me open a question time one. Start those in 5. I have a lot of projects. I'll just migrate it over. Yeah, animations retargeting I find is better in Unreal 5. It's a lot less random. Sure. A lot neater to set up, but also it does take a little bit longer to set up, but it is better. Right, here's my quick time special. So I'm just going to migrate over this characters folder here. So migrate. And we're going to put that into oh, hold on. Don't really care about that. Okay. Finish doing that. Done. Right, I should be able to close this now. Because now in here we should have the mannequin for UE4 and 5, as well as the animations and, more importantly, the retargeting rigs. Saves me a lot of time. So, with the retargeting rigs, we can retarget and map our new character to it. So if I go to here and assign the to the animation, sorry, animations, characters, and these ones here, select all these and retarget, duplicate and retarget. And we're taking from UE5 to UE4 Manny. On this, choose my prototype M. Now this might cause some issues because the pose is different. So see, my source is an A pose, my target's in T pose. May cause some issues, but if it does, we can fix that. That's not a problem. But let's see how we get on with this. Going to AI here, Android, and make a new folder. I will obviously replace these animations in the future with actual Android animations. I'm probably going to make myself because they're not really. If I had a look around, don't really. Let's see how this looks. Does it look okay? Hands look a bit weird, but see what I mean by the hands? Arms look a bit weird, tight as well. So we'll fix that pose. Okay, so let's go into here and change his pose. So if I go to the skeleton on this one, and we're going to modify pose on retarget sources. Oh, hang on, I need to move it first. So I need to make it in a pose. So you want to try and get as close as possible to impose shape as everyone. Go here to upper arm. Bring that down. Yeah. Let me add the other one as well at the same time. Delete these ones. Yep. Okay. Let's go back to here. Into open up. Open this one. There you go. So I've got to match that sort of same pose. So I'm just gonna drag this. There you go. Right, so looking at both of these, I can see poses probably need to go arm down a little bit more. The arms of this character is bent, whereas the arms here aren't. So let's bend those a little bit. So that's the lower arm. F, by the way, is a shortcut to do that. I'm going to snap to whatever you got selected. So I hit this one, hit F. Takes me to it. Okay. Hands often are a weird issue as well. Sometimes they paste the palms out like that, something like that, something like that. Odd. How we're looking. Not too bad. I think that would get rid of most issues. Okay, let's try it with this one. So once I've finished doing that, I'm gonna go up to here and go modify pose and then use current pose. That should now be its main pose I want to use. Should be. So if I now go into the retargeting, this, hopefully the pose would carry through. Retarget, duplicating retarget. 2e5, 2e4. Prototype M. Okay, so it's A pose, that's good, good. Change that over to Android. Animations, okay. Retarget. Fingers crossed that looks a little bit better, hopefully. Over here. Hands still a bit weird. Why are they doing that? Right, let's go back to the pose of that. Are we? Right, characters, hero skeleton. View pose. Right, so the hands. I'm gonna guess I have to turn the hands in. Now, if you're unsure of how this looks, by the way, another way you can do this, save that, is to open up the retargeter itself. So if I go into the characters folder, somewhere, UE5 many to UE4 many. So here you can see them two next to each other, and if I choose the open up this target IK rig here, change the preview pose. Oh, it's using a damn thing, I think. Hang on, let me. It is right click, get an assign. I want this one. Win. UE4. There we go. It. Go in here. Save. Preview mesh. Pose. So save. Add to asset. Now if I go in here, go to UE4 mannequin. Here, sorry. Okay. Clear that and put that in. There we are. So here you can see like what the pose is going to do to the hands. So obviously they're not lined up. So you can edit the pose of this. So if I go to the retarget pose, no. Can I see my default one? Yeah, and edit that one. I did it manually. You can do it here. Now the benefit of doing it in this sort of view is that I can open up any of these animations here to preview. So go forward walk here. Edit pose. I can see what the animation is going to look like. Or retargeting it out. And that's really looking, making the hands look a little bit better, you see. Cool. I think that's quite good. Okay, so to retarget those, I just select the ones I want to use. So those ones, export, AI, Android, animations. Okay. There they are. We've got duplicates because the old ones are in there. So let's get rid of the old ones. Cool. Right, so that works. There we are. Okay, so now we've got these in here. We can now do a blend space for the animation as well. Blend space. We've got one direction here, so we'll just do one direction. We'll choose a skeleton, and this is using UE4 skeleton in the characters folder. That'd be this one. Yeah. Okay, and we can put in idle. Hold down shift, it snap. Walk forwards. Oh, I need to change the width of it. This one's speed. 0. 0 to. It'd be quite slow, so we'll say 450. Okay. I've got an idea to make him look even more terrifying. Is that when he's so he'll walk around normally at this sort of speed, okay? But let's say he sees you and wants to go a bit faster. So I'll put walk in here at the end. But this one, I'll change the scale of 1.5. So when he sees you, he's going to go. That should terrify you. Why do people retarget? You retarget if you've got animations on one skeleton, but you want it to fit onto another skeleton. That is why you retarget. Okay. Save that. Okay. No, Rusty, it's not. It is designed. If you've like, for example, I had to do it here because my prototype character was using a UE4 skeleton, whereas the animations I had were using UE5 mannequin skeleton. So two different skeletons. If they were using the same skeleton, really easy to swap. But because they're not, I had to retarget. And retargeting, what it does, it looks at the links between the arms and legs and things like that, and looks at how they move and mimics that same movement onto another what we call an IK chain onto the other skeleton. So in other words, I've gone to one skeleton and said, this is the IK chain for the arm. Gone to the other skeleton, this is the IK chain for the arm. And it'll mimic the same motion from one to the other and map it. Okay, so that is what's happening there. If they're the same skeleton, this is a lot quicker process because I can just change the skeleton they use. But they don't. Oh, whoops, didn't want to do that. So in here, I need to make an animation blueprint. I'll tell you what would be even scarier, actually. If I take the walk out here, duplicate it, walk forward, aggro, be fun. So this is when he walks forward faster. So I'll change it to 1.5. But I'm going to add an additive track to him. So I'm going to go to the upper arm on the R. Pause this. And see if I can make this. Just rise it up like that. And add a key. Also going to take the hand. Rotate it this way. Add a key. So when he's walking, I'm after you like this. Diddy, not so much movement, but yeah, do what you can. Looks different. Put that on a walk run here. Just swap this one up. Goes from walking to right. Animation blueprint. Just and a state machine for him. Idle state into a movement state. And idle, pretty simple. Idle. Going blend space. And we just. And in our transition, we're going to take the speed here. Go greater than 0. And it goes back to idle. When speed is unequal to 0. A. And that'll go into the. So very simple setup. Don't need much. Check on target pawn owner. I've said it before, I'll say it again. The reason why you want this is sometimes the animation blueprint can spawn in before the pawn does. Therefore, you want to do a check to see if you can actually get hold of the pawn before you start reading data from it. So you need that. Velocity. Get velocity. And to get this, velocity is speed and direction combined. So to get speed out of it, you just get the vector length. Oh, another one. Vector. There we are. That is speed. Okay. Let's go into the Android NPC. Mesh. Prototype, dude. Yeah. Android anim. I think for this project, I'm probably going to get a Rococo suit, do my own mocap for it. But we'll see. I might convince my animator friend to see if he can have animations for it. I want it to be like the Terminator, basically. So you got to run away from these Terminator-like robots. Hey. Character movement here. I'm going to turn down his default speed to 300. No, we'll do 250. And scene. Let's see what they look like. I think I want to raise my spotlight up. My spotlight is dead on, but because my character is dead on, I think it's going near my waist. Let's just change that up a little bit. Viewport, spotlight. Yeah, it's going from my waist, you see. Head. That's better. Cool. Okay, right. So let's get them just walking around randomly. Scene. Oh, wrong bit. Have mesh balance volume. On. So yeah, so you can't go into the events, which is good. That's what we're off. You can walk along the floor, go around there, that's fine. Go up here, that's fine. And down there, that's fine. This bit above is generating because that's where the roof is, but it's fine, you can't. Okay. I haven't got a character model for the enemy yet, or the alien mimic. I've got some ideas what I want to do that. I'm thinking of the alien to be more like a necromorph type thing. I want it to be like body horror type monster. A mix between a necromorph and the Thing. But yeah. Okay, so go ahead and do the AI. Cool, yeah. Like ideally what I would want to happen in an ideal world is have it so the character that, because everyone looks human at the start, and then a mimic, what it will do is like, I want to just split open the human character and reveal the mimic monster inside, and yeah. So that's what I want to do ideally, but I'll take a second idea for that one forward because it's quite difficult to do. Okay. Favorite trait. Once and new task. Wonder. Do AI. And I want to find a location in the map. Obviously I'll set like patrol routes for him and things like that in the future, but I want to find a location that's roughly in front of him. I don't want him to do like zigzaggy type. So what I can do is do a random vector in cone. Yep. Cone direction would be the pawn's forward vector. The half angle here will do 50. I don't want to really need a stream. That's the one that doesn't need. Yeah, that one. Yep. Okay. Question: is it better to have an object detect the player or the player detect the object, please? Depends on the object. The player didn't normally is the one that does the detecting. But if it's something like yeah, HA, it's like the thing. Yeah, I think it just tears them apart and out of them. Right, okay, random unit vector in here. I'm going to do multiplied by. This will be how far they're going to look. Looked. And this will be 1,000. Sure. Yeah, random point in reachable radius. Origin. Yeah. Oh, not there. Radius will be say 1,000 as well. And if that is true, we want to come out of there. AI move 2. Pawn is controlled pawn. Yep. On success. Finish, execute. On foul. Not successful there. Also on the false of this, I want to not successful there. And on my behavior tree, I'll add that onto here. Wander. And on the selector, I'm going to go up here and do wait. And he'll wait 3 seconds with a deviation of 2. So what's going to happen here is he'll wander around. If he can't move, like if he picks an invalid area, he'll just stand still. That way it kind of gives the impression that he's just standing and waiting around randomly, so to speak. We'll see how that goes. See how that looks. So I need his AI controller to use this. So AI run behavior tree. Behavior. Save. Let's make him use that behavior AI tree. Android AI. Okay. Let's see. There he is. So he should kind of just walk in like a forward sort of direction. He shouldn't ever walk like backwards on himself. So as if he's patrolling the whole area on like a loop. So look, now he's picked an invalid spot. So he's going to wait here for a bit and then try again. Will he ever make it move again? Yeah, there you go. It's working. So quite easily I've made him make him wander around in a sort of path around the ship. Obviously we'll make him not do stuff like this, but you never know. He want to do that. I might make these corridors smaller. This seems too large. See, now he may get stuck in here because he can't move out of this corner. So I think I need to do a catch up on that one. So his wander here is when it fails, rather than finish execute straight away, I'm going to try and move again. But this time I'm going to do this, but this time with his right vector. I'm just going to promote that to available. I'm going to use this quite a lot. Okay, so it does this. That's false. Branch. False there. True. Pawn. Nation. Direction is going to be controlled pawn's right vector. That'll go into false there. So it goes down here and tries that. And if that's unsuccessful, we can make him now look to the left. Be exactly the same, except right vector we multiply by -1. There. Okay, let's try this out. Yeah, it gets on with this movement. So there he goes. Is this game going to be story driven? Not really. It'll have some story in it, but it's not story driven. It'll do for now. Let's try making the environment a different size here. I'm not happy with this size. Oh, that line. Oh, that's quite nice. Yeah. And that tight claustrophobic feel as well. Then you can go. Oh, cool. Okay. Let's make this doorway smaller. So this is why we're doing this. Just to test, make sure we're putting our AI through its paces. It can reach where it needs to go. Let's say a big door will have a size of 3 meters, maybe. Okay. So look, size maybe. Yeah, so like a double door. If you add more androids in there, because there will be more than one, we have a handful of them. The exact number we'll wait until we get an actual map together and see how we do for size and testing. So this will need loads of playtesting, obviously, which obviously nowhere near at the moment, but it will be part of the patrons and giving them access to it when it is in development. And testing phases of that, they'll get to test it, much like how they're testing Fire Team. Yeah. Okay, so let's improve him a little bit. In that, if I go to his default setting here and turn off rotation yaw, that'll stop his snap turning. And on the character movement here, I'm going to change his rotation to rotate movement and desired rotation. Hold on. Okay. Right, so if you want these things to avoid each other, like you would want AI to do, open them up, go to cat movement and just typing RVO, click that on. They'll try and avoid each other's by stepping out of the way a little bit. I know. What do you think? Does this need to be tighter of a corridor? It could be multiplayer as well, so we've got to expect other people running down this corridor at various points, doing their tasks, running around. Obviously, this one's too big still. We need to change that. But what do you think? Do you think this would be a decent enough size? I think so. You have like little alcove bits like this that you can use to evade capture and things like that. Oh yeah, when it closes up, yeah, because we'll have pipes and things on it as well. Yeah. Yeah, we'll have boxes. Yeah, okay, yeah, pipes, boxes, cables, all those sorts of things. Yeah, will help. Maybe have like a bit of area of the level that's flooded. Maybe that might be quite fun. The water part of it. That'd be quite cool. Okay, let's bring this one in tighter. We've got 1, 2. Okay, let's mess about with some more alcovey type bits. So one other bit we could do as well would be a bit like this. Right? Yeah. It's going to have several levels to it. Not to be too big because obviously it's a multiplayer map, and you want players to bump into each other and things like that. Watched a great film last night, Bullet Train. Anyone seen that? I thought it was excellent. Strongly recommend it if everyone wants. How often do you stream? Yeah, I stream on Wednesdays. I do question time when I answer people's questions. And on Saturdays now, I'll be streaming. Sometimes streaming this, sometimes streaming other projects, sometimes doing live classes. Yeah, check it out. There will be a stream schedule eventually published when I get around to making it. So keep an eye out for stuff like that. Yeah, and you could dress up this thing as well by adding some fog to it, maybe some atmospheric fog. Even though it's in like a spaceship, you'll still have atmosphere because obviously there's atmosphere inside the ship. And because it's like in danger and things like that, we could argue that there's atmospheric leaking. So let's test out what that looks like. Exponential height fog. Fog density 5. I might need to add a atmosphere to this. No. Oh wait, I have 2 fogs, and I. Atmosphere. Yeah, there we go. Turn it up to like 2. And into volumetric fog as well. Boom. Nice. Obviously, my light is just bouncing all over the volumetric fog. Maybe not so much that. Turn that down. Let's see, down to like 1.5. Might need to make it so my torch isn't a source for volumetric. It doesn't use the volumetric. Can I do that? Volumetric scattering. Turn it down a lot. That's better. Okay. Do I use Facebook Messenger? I technically do, but I haven't looked at it for a while. So sorry if I miss your message. Send me a message on Discord if you can. That'd be easier. But I'll check my Facebook messages after this. See what you've said. Parts of the map where there's no fog. Yeah, I mean. Could be. I don't know. I'm not too sure about fog yet. Obviously, it'd be dark as well. A lot of the ship using some like strobe lighting and things like that. So we may or may not have that on. I don't know, something to think about. Speaking of lighting, let's think about how we can light this thing a bit better. At that moment, we're just using a directional light in here. Directional light. So very dark, dim light in here, and some light. That light. Where's the thing? All of that to like. Yeah. Mixed up with like red lights for like warning lights and red and blue lights for like just parts of the ship. Well, you know, we'll mess about that obviously when we actually got artwork. That'd be better. Right, let's make it so they chase after me. And then we call it a night. So my Android AI perception. Adds, oh, not that. Sight. Oh, wrong one. Target updated. Okay, and we're gonna check if this is the player character. Obviously, for multiplayer, this will be a little bit different, but for testing right now, I don't care. I just want to put this in. Such, we'll obviously refine this when we start adding a multiplayer feature. Oh, hang on. Yeah, black. As object. select object. Successfully sensed. If you want a full description of how this all works, check out my behavior tree videos. Bring a lot more detail, obviously. Now, getting quite close to the end. Target actor. And do there. And on the behavior tree here. Board. Target actor. Change the key type here to actor. And hit save. And behavior tree. Selector here. We have another selector. And this one will only happen when target actor is not set. Target actor is not set. That changes. I wanted to abort itself and do move 2. And that's moving to target actor. Now I'm going to make him walk a bit faster too. So I'm going to add a little service task to this. Actually, I'll do that. I'll just go to my AI here. And from here we get rolled pawn. To do a cast for now. Because I want to get this in there. Set max walk speed. Oh, I'd have to get cat movement, sorry. Get character. Set max walk speed. Okay, and this we're going to select float. And that'll go into here. I'll do this a lot better way when we get around to it, do it properly. But now it's true that's going to be equal to 400, not 250. Although I kind of want to do that just once. Yeah. Oh no, I want to make it a service. What am I doing? Put that out. Alright, let's go back to the baby tree and make it a service. BT service. Change speed. Override function. Activation AI. Hold pawn goes in there, goes in there. That goes in there. Max walk speed. We promote it to variable, and we'll make it editable. That when I go to my behavior tree, I go to move 2, add service, change speed. Put in what speed I want to go here. 400. Do it on this one as well. Add service, change speed. 250. Okay. Cheers, Giuseppe. Yeah, it does take a long time, Paul, to get used to it. Oh look, now they come after me. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. You ain't seen me yet. No, yes. Service will only run for when that particular sequence in the BT is active. Correct. Yes. Anything in that inside that tree is active. In that branch. Yeah. So that's when that runs. Okay. Okay, brilliant. Okay, so we've got some basic stuff set up there. Obviously, I need to make it a bit more spooky with them. I think the animations will help a lot. And the models will help a lot once we get around to doing that. Yeah. But yeah, another thing that might be quite useful for them is maybe they have a little torch on their head. So when they're wandering around the map, if they bet to be around the corner, you can see the torch maybe projecting somewhere. Would be interesting. Also, don't know if it's a player's torch, or an android's torch as well. It could be a bit more interesting too. Thing to do. So let's see what that looks like on here quickly before we say goodbye. I can type, that would help. I'll make it more of a narrow one. Very short throw. Thousand. And make that attached to his head. So spotlight attached to the mesh, and then up here I can go to head. Oh, and clear that. Okay. Let's move the start of my character somewhere else. Here, maybe. So I should see their torches from their heads. Oh, I'll get off. Or not. Might be too little. What's my torch like? Mine is... Oh, mine's still 5,000. Maybe I just made it too little. Okay, let's go back to him. 5,000. Yeah, I kind of want the android to use a narrow torch just to set them apart from the players, but also, oh dear, I don't see. Oh no, it is working. You can see him walking around. Maybe too narrow. Also, I feel like the android would have a narrow field of view with that because they're focusing and analyzing individual bits. Wider. And do it in a cone angle as well of like 16. Like that. Obviously, with the volumetric fog, that'll look even cooler because obviously their torch is going to affect it more than mine will. So if I add that back in, turn fog up here to like 1, maybe 2. Like this. Let's turn off these lights as well. That's going to make things. See. Oh dear. Like that there. There you go. Oh my god, I'm trapped. They got me. Again. So they should be like more visible when they're walking through the corridor like that. Oh dear. There you go, he's still chasing me. So because the spotlight of my character's right in my face, maybe I should move their spotlight out of the way because it's It feels like it's something that's blocking my view almost. So let me move that down here. So I'm not directly. Obviously, once I've got a model and animations, I can touch it to the hands properly. But that's better. That's much better. Less. It's like less like blinding me. Obviously, we'll make their heads swivel as well, and they'll do looking around the corners and things like that. They can look at you. So imagine he's walking along here looking at me the whole entire time. He won't keep his eyes off me. Now, because I haven't told him to ever lose sight of me, if I were to go out of here, oh god, these ones have found me now. He will still find me, but that's fine. We ain't done that bit yet. That's kind of cool. Let's turn down their brightness a bit, I think. Take it down to like 3500. Oh, yeah. The volumetric fog works pretty nicely for this, because obviously light is a big thing. And this is a really cool way of doing it. Obviously, you can imagine like their metallic feet like clunking on the floor as well, like. So I wanted to be like Terminator. So when I eventually have them animate, they won't walk with so much swagger. They'll walk pretty stoically, like the Terminator. I want to be more like also like Cybermen from Doctor Who a little bit. What is the red thing in the middle of his screen? Oh, that's my line trace from my interaction. That's how I can interact with stuff. You weren't here last time. We made a load of interactions. Like, so, as I said, it's more like think about Resident Evil type thing. Let's actually put a couple of those in so you can see that working. So if I would put in, say, my fuse box over here. Ooh. Okay, so this fuse box may be one of the puzzles and it's missing a fuse, for example. So you have to go find the fuse. So the fuse is here. So let's go put that in the scene somewhere. Put that. This will be randomly placed as well by the computer at the start of the game. It won't be something that you can easily find every single time. So like that. So like I see the fuse is missing. And I've got to run away. And pick up this thing. And I've got the fuse. And then we go up to the fuse box. Insert it, and there you go, it's in the fuse box. Okay, and that would trigger some lights or something. Or power back on. The whole point is trying to power back up your escape ship so you can get off the ship. Meanwhile, you're going to have things like the Saboteur, who's trying to gather the evidence and kill everyone else. You got the Mimic, who's trying to get off the ship, and if they can kill other people, so be it. But they just want to get off the ship. And the crewmen want to get off the ship without the Mimic. So there's a few things. If you go check out my live stream from Monday, I explain the game in a lot more detail there. But the things like computer terminals, breaches will happen, doors are locked, so you have to like hack the doors, things like that. But it is a multiplayer game, very much like Among Us. And when you think you're sus of someone, you can vote, and whoever is chosen, the androids will target them and will come after them. That's the idea of it. So they may kill them, they may not. We don't know. There's not an automatic kick out. They manage to evade them by the time next vote. They could get their revenge on someone. Meanwhile, the Mimic can go around and sabotage things, make sure that people are kept busy, and yeah, all that stuff going on. So yeah, interesting ideas to go. We'll go through it. Yeah, cool. All right, that'll do for today's live stream. We're gonna go for next week. We'll go into Retro Remake and go look back at that. Retro Remake is carrying on from what we started at the start of the year, which is Bomberman. So we're going to try and wrap up that Bomberman series by the end of the year. So we're going to start a new project in the new year for Retro Remake. So make sure you come by next Saturday for that episode then. Also, if you have a question you want to ask about game dev or Unreal Engine or anything you like at all, come by on Wednesdays where we host Question Time, where you can ask me any question you like, and we'll answer them live on stream. Massive thank you to all my Patreon members and all my YouTube members for the continued support. If you are supporting me on Patreon, don't forget you can check out my downloads for the easy interaction and the easy leveling system. Next month, you can look forward to another easy system being added to the Patreon vault, where you can download these projects and use them for your own games. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Ryan Laley. See you all next time. Stay safe and make sure you subscribe. Bye bye, everyone.